Good evening and welcome to Division 4 tonight here at Austria. I'm your main commentator, Rogue Smithy. I'll be joined hopefully tonight by Simo. If not, well, you've got me to enjoy once again back here in Division 4. Hopefully we won't have any technical issues this week like we did in Imola, which looked to be an exciting race from when we had the glitch. It was a lead by Doran. Not too sure if he ended up winning that race, but there was a big glitch, and it was a good battle between Doran and the Vicar towards the end there. So, as we move into qualifying now, dry quali, and one of the fastest lap times in F1 around this track. It's shortest lap in real life as well. It's 8 corners, 9 corners, depending on if you want to get finicky, as it's a really short blast. Really, it's a mix of high downforce and it's a medium downforce kind of place, because you got those hairpins, you got those straights, and you got the middle sector, which is just really hard to keep it on the track with low downforce. But you want to also get that speed down the straight, so you can't go completely high downforce on it. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if anyone does go for high downforce or completely low downforce tonight. And we'll see what happens as we move into the results from last week. It was. As my sheet loads up. My sheet did load up a little bit. As we just ride on board with Brass Monkeys as he heads into the final corner and to start his lap. He shouldn't have much traffic either. He will not have no traffic. It is as well, with it being a shortish circuit, the traffic can be quite mental, as Brass Monkeys has invalidated off the bat. Red Doubts, his teammate, will be up next to have a swing at the provisional pole position off the start. See what he can get done. At the minute, Division 4 is led by the Vicar, 73 points, 2 wins, so he did win out in Imola. Doran came home in P2, and is currently as well P2 in the championship on 65 points, so an 8-point difference between the two. Fastest lap for Vicar, more wins and more podiums at the minute, so he does have the countback advantage to Billy G in P3, followed by John Mokes, who picked up his first podium of the season in Imola after 2 races where he could have had a lot more points but had some issues on the track. Red Doubts coming through the middle sector now, ahead of sector 2, 45.8. Very short final sector here. It's just 4 corners as we head through to that final corner. That it will be, there we go, Red Doubts through the final corner. They will set, well, we've got the SJW in front, who sets a 106.1, 106.4 for Red Doubts. Doran is next. The current P2 is going to go for a 105.231. He is looking good there. Silver Fox with a P2 effort there. Dan, believe starting an outlap. No, it's Alex Haig, sorry, with a 4.9. First driver into the .4s. Dom next up goes to P4 with a 105.6. Billy G in P11 at the minute seems to be going quite slow on non-ERS. He's going to set a 110.8 off the starter. We'll see what he can do for the rest of the session. It's just the banker lap there. Brass Monkeys is the only driver on an actual lap at the minute, but it is invalid. Billy G will probably be the only one on a lap, and Vicar starts his lap. We're going to ride on board with him ahead as he heads down into turn 1. Not much ERS used at the final corner. We want to brake nice and early, take a bit of curve on the inside. Don't want to take too much on the outside. It is very easy to spin. Heading down to turn 2 now, up the uphill turn 2. As it's an uphill braking zone, helps you can brake a little bit later than you usually would for a corner like this, as the uphill and gravity does help with the slowing down. DRS is enabled down this next straight. He heads down to turn 4. A lot of incidents in the last couple of years with Perez having a couple incidents pushed onto the gravel, of course. Albon and Hamilton. Albon getting his first podium taken away in the 2020 race, which was an absolutely crazy race. Multiple DNFs, multiple incidents, and that was the start of a good season for Mercedes, who got the win with Bottas. Doran, Alex Hagen to the pits there. Billy G up to P3. Forgot he was on a lap there, up to P3. That's a brilliant lap for him. Vicar is the next one up to have a crack at it. Through the final corner it will be for our championship leader. Vicar is not going to be P1, he's going to be P4 with a 105.6 2/10 off of Dan, who just moved up to P5. John Mobes to P2 now, not too far behind him. Brass Monkeys in P11, just finished his lap. Dylan Vince and Night Creed coming around the final two couple corners now. Dylan Vince on a in lap, pretty sure. Let's see what I can get done. Straight on a banker lap there. Is Dylan Vince just going to get it done and then move on to the next lap. There we go. Overtake is enabled for the V-carb, which we'll see if he gets done. Moving through, Doran looks to be starting middle of a lap there. Billy G is going to be entering the pits. John Mobes. It's kind of the dead part of the session now. Dan is on a charged lap by the looks of it. Vicker on a hot lap there, it says. Into the pits he will go though. As of course the drivers cannot cross the white line, and you'll see here on Brass Monkeys if they go too wide through the final corner, they have to stay out. They cannot and re-enter, I'm guessing, after they cross the white line, otherwise it could be a penalty for the driver that does. Dylan Vince now through sector 2. See what he can get done. At the minute he's going to keep going through sector 2. Sector 3, sorry. Got my words muddled up there. Through the final corner, very fast. Little lift for him. Then you want to go on the brakes downhill, and it's a bit of an off-camber corner there, and you just want to get it through and clean and non-invalidated P9 for the V-carb so far, as he gets his lap down. And SJW looks to be one of the few drivers on a lap. Dylan Vince maybe on an in-lap. Red Doubt's not on a lap. Night Creed is on a lap 2:17.2 through the first sector. With this could be a decent lap. He's used a lot of his ERS though off the bat already. Just going to do a quick skim through the field. SJW on an out lap, Dom on an out lap. Not too much going on in the top 8 drivers apart from Dom on his out lap, of course. Dylan Vince on an in lap out of fuel, which tends to happen a lot around here. There's a Haas behind, of course, but it is the Haas of Red Doubt. Night Creed coming up to the final sector now. He will go through turn 8 there, nice and flat. Don't want to touch that curve too much, it will absolutely send your car miles wide. And he comes out the final corner, and Night Creed is going to come to the line, and he will go to P13. Not too far off Brass Monkeys though, and can improve his lap time. And we'll see what he can get done in the final 10 minutes of the session as we just come up to that now. Billy G on his out lap. Dom has started his lap through sector 1, through turn 1. He's on non-ERS, may have forgotten to press it again there. SJW up 200ths of a second through sector 1. Very hard to improve through there as well. It's just one corner. Is the kind of mini sector, I'd kind of call it, but you can't really do much because it's just, the track is really small, really quick. And I don't think there's really one low speed corner apart from maybe turn 3. As SJW will come into the pits as he does not feel he can go any faster. Dom 1.7 down through sector 1. He looks to be doing a warm-up on his tyres, doing a double out lap. Is the Mercedes Billy G, and John Mobes Billy G is going to be the first one out of those two over the line. He's got the Vicker coming off pit lane there on his inside as he heads through turn 1 nice and clean for the Aston Martin. He'll get that through. The RS is opened, a little bit of overtake he used down the straight to get that top speed up. Maybe use a bit more high downforce. Want to break just past the 100 metre here. You don't want to go too deep though, it just completely sets you up wrong for this next straight here. Down to turn 4, the run is quite important as the corner is one of the most important corners on the track. You want to just maximise it as much as you can. Onto the curve through turn 4, nice and simple for Billy G, and that could be that could shave a couple tenths off of his lap time there. You don't want to touch the inside curve here too much, and you don't want to touch it at all. Outside you can go quite wide, you can carry a bit of speed through. At the minute it will be provisional pole for the Aston Martin if he can keep this lap time up on for a 3/10 improvement, which will be just enough to get pole position through the final 2 corners there, flat out through 1, lift through 2, down to 5th. It's going to be, he's going to come to the line, it's going to be for Billy G, provisional pole position with a 1:04.6, 3/10 quicker than Alex Haig so far, with John Mobes on a lap though coming through turn 2, 3 now, up the hill. And it's just that, yeah, as well, one of the most visually stunning tracks is Austria. Rain can just come instantly with how high up it is in the mountains. Of course you see them surrounding place, not too far from Spielberg. It's near the, pretty sure it's near the border. Here's Austria. It's not the shortest track on the circuit. One of the, oh, John Mobes on the gravel there. He's purple through sector 2 apparently, Will. That might have shaved a couple tenths off though, as he absolutely went flat out there. 8th gear, and he's just going to drop it down to 6th. Little lift, don't brake at all. Down to 5th. One downshift through the final corner. Don't want to take too much curve on the exit. Easy to just run it wide. And it's going to be a 105.0. A very slight improvement for Ferrari, who moves to P4 there. It stays in P4 there, sorry. And he just gains the gap on Dan, who is on his lap so far. I believe he might have just finished the lap actually. Has Dan, he moved up to P4. Completely missed him. Dom on a non-improvement lap. The Vicar getting held up there. That is a problem by the Haas, I believe that is, of maybe, yeah, it's Brass Monkeys is the only Haas on track at the minute. But this is not going to be an improvement for the Vicar. He might have to go again. He's going to open the DRS. He's going to get the move done. He's making overtakes a bit too early in the session. He's going to improve 1.2 tenths, which puts him up to P6 and an all Ferrari third row on the grid so far. Dom down to P7 in the pit at the minute though. Dylan Vince, no improvement. SJW may have just improved on his lap, as the Ferrari of the Vicar has now been passed again. Has just been passed there on his lap. Alex Haig is P2. We'll see what he can get done now. He's 3 tenths down. See what he can get done through sector 1. He may have improved. There we go, half tenth. That's probably the maximum you can do through the first sector. If you can nail that first corner, maybe a tenth or two gain. In my opinion, it's just such a short sector to improve. See how wide he goes through turn 4 now. Not taking too much curve, seems to be. There we go. Vicar has left the session. That is important there. 5 minutes to go in the session. 5 minutes 40 seconds to go in the session. If he cannot get back in, it's good for him. He can get the. He's got that done. There we go. Alex Haig with the invalidation there towards the end of his lap. But if the Vicar can get back in, it's teleported him back to the pits. It may give him the fresh sets if there's a glitch. Alex Haig into the pits there. Yeah, sorry. Doran 1.2 up through the first sector though as well. The in his Aston Martin, he's never. I think I've seen him in a race without an Aston Martin in my time in SFR. He's definitely his favourite car is from Division 5 with the bit Constructors Champions. When I first joined in Season 9, he's lost a bit of time through Sector 2 there, has Doran though. He's looking to take his first Drivers' Championship in his SFR career, I'm pretty sure. There we go, into the pits goes Doran, as he now, yeah, there we go, into the pits. And that is it for now. It's all very quiet on the track. Only drivers on are Night Creed and Brass Monkeys, the only two drivers entirely on the track. You want to leave it as late as possible. There we go, car come out of the pits. That believe that is the V-Carb of SJW. There we go, the debutant for tonight, I believe, in Division 4. Let's see what he can get done tonight in his debut, of course. Dan returning to SFR recently, in P4. He has done quite well since his return to the league. As yeah, it's just all very quiet on track. Not much going on. 3.5 minutes to go. 3 minutes 50 seconds to go in the session. We'll just wait now for cars to come out the track. That looks to be Billy G, our current provisional pole sitter, looking to improve his time. P3 in the championship, looking to hopefully jump up to P1 if based on current results. He will be up to Division 1. Not Division 1, sorry. He will be up to P1. Don't know where I got Division 1 from then. Looking at the standings, and I believe that may have influenced me there. Yeah, P3, about 4 to 15, 18 points behind. 16 points behind, sorry. So he'll need to win and the Vicar to come home a decent way down the field, which is the only problem with that. Ferrari currently lead the constructors by 4 points to Aston Martin. The Vicar and John Mobes both contributing to that, and contributing has been Doran to that championship too, as well as Billy G. It's going to be a close fight between all 4 of these drivers in the top 4 in this season, all of them quite close on pace. There we go, Billy G starting his lap now. DRS open, turn 1, you want to just break it and just chuck it through, and you don't want to chuck it through that much, as there we go, straight onto Non. He's going to save his tyres and just go for another lap. Silver Fox on his out lap now, he's going to be going for it. Doran 2, and John Mobes and the Vicar. Vicar actually in the pits, maybe waiting very late for this. John Mobes will be the first Ferrari to start the lap. There we go. You want to brake just before the 50 metre, just past the 100. You want to take that curb on the inside. Not too much of it though, you will invalidate very quickly and lose the car, as Billy G did. Through turn 1 up to turn 2, long winding uphill straight. There we go. John Mobes up 800ths of a second. That'll at the minute put him on the second row of the grid and move him up 2 spots ahead of Doran. He doesn't want that though. He wants another pole position, his 3rd this season. He'll be wanting tonight at Austria. As out of turn 4 he goes. Nice couple corners for him. He's going to just go through. Not too much curve on that inside line there. He's not touched the gravel on the outside this time either, and he's just enough to go through. Purple sector 2. Didn't see the improvement there. I was focusing on that corner, and he was taking there. It was quite good for him. Through the final 2 corners. Turn 8, 57, 58 seconds. There we go, down to 5th. Nice corner. No, could have took a bit more curve on exit, a bit more speed. But let's see what he can get done. It will be P2 for John Mobes, a 2/10 improvement. Just ahead of Alex Haig, who's going to follow up right now and see exactly what he can do and try and jump over John Mobes, who's going to go and not improve. Is Alex Haig. Doran though, 3/10 up. This could be the pole lap, the provisional pole lap. His teammate not too far behind. Dan as well, heading through turn 1. P2 for Doran, 3/10 improvement. Cannot jump his teammate. It is a 1-2 at the minute for the two Aston Martins. The Vicar cannot improve. He will be down in P8. Dan up a bit. Billy G is not going to improve his lap. He decides to pit. Anybody on a lap at the minute? The 2 Alpines with a bit of toe down there. Just a little bit of understeer for Dan there. He just gets it through the corner and see what he can get through turn 5. Long, just feels like it goes on forever. Grip just comes to you through the corner. 2/10 up. This will be at the minute good enough for second row of the grid. P3. Can he improve any further and get pole position off of the Aston Martin, or get P2 off of the Aston Martin of Doran? Through the final corner he'll go. He took a lot of curb on that exit. Up to the line, it's going to be 4 down. It's P4. He cannot improve. It was good enough for P3. He dropped a bit through the final couple corner, but it's just enough to jump his teammate by 11 hundredths of a second. And that is it at the minute. Dylan Vince up though 4/10. This could move him up ahead of his teammate and possibly ahead of the Vicar too, if he can get these final corners hooked up correctly. DRS open for the Aston Martin, for the V car, but it's going to be 3/10 off of our championship leader, and that is P9 for him. So let's just wait for the qualifying to end. It will be Billy G taking his first position, pole position of the season. Doran lining up on the front row of the grid yet again. Seems to be up there quite a lot. Does the 2 Aston Martins that are always up near the top. In Hungary they were 1-2 for quite a bit of the race. So it'll be Billy G on pole, followed by Doran, John Mobes in P3. Dan in the Alpine in P4 with a Alpine P4 and 5 with Alex Haig. P6 for Dom in that lone Mercedes car. Silver Fox and Vicar on 7 in P7 and 8. Vicar down there uncharacteristically after a LAN cable disconnect. He will start on the 4th row of the grid, quite far back from his championship rivals who lock out 1, 2 and 3. Dylan Vince in P9, in P10 is his teammate SJW making his debut. Red Doubts in P11, Brass Monkeys and Brass Monkeys in P12, Night Creed in P13, and that is your grid for the Division 4 Austrian Grand Prix. as a bit of a mix has been thrown in here, and it will be a wet race at the minute, and that could throw an absolute curveball into this now. Yeah, bit of a curveball here. That could be the thing for the Vicar as well. He may have gone higher downforce to get that extra speed during the race. 8/10 off, 8.5 off of pole position, and that is quite uncharacteristic from him. But we'll see what he can get done in the race. I feel that he can climb back up to P4. I just don't think that those the drivers in 1, 2, and 3 can be overtaken by him so far down the field. It will be a SFR Doran win, I predict, with a Aston Martin 1-2. Billy G will come home in P2, and John Mobes, I think, may get P3, barring any mistakes from those top drivers. We're just waiting now for drivers to ready up, and this could be this could be an interesting race. I believe we may have some good racing. No safety cars so far in the season, and there we go. It will be Billy G leading them away on this formation lap, and there we go, underway in the Austrian. I'm not going to say the Austrian sunshine, but the Austrian mountains it is. No sunshine in sight, and I don't think we may even get some in this race. Everybody on the intermediates. Not really much point in putting the tyres up, but we always have it up in case anyone does decide to pit early and test the dry weather tyres, which we may have a couple gamble early in this race if it stays quite late as it is. It's a very light rain around here. Track does not look wet whatsoever. You can see a bit of sun peeking through, as you can see the shine off of the Aston Martin. As I may have to eat my words there and say we may actually have a bit of Austrian sunshine tonight, as it is a one-stop race, intermediate change through the middle of the race, about 18 laps in, which is directly half of the race, 36 laps tonight. As they all come round, filing through the final sector now. Just come round. We all come up to the line now. Doran's overtaking his teammate to the line. Anyone getting disqualified will be at a massive disadvantage. At the front, Alex Haig coming in nice there. John Mobes has been reset. He may be a bit behind there. Actually, no, it looks like he's all good. Vicar with the one there, as it's going to be. Cannot see a red light in sight there. Engine rest drive, and it is green in Austria, and it's the green of Doran who gets away better of the two Aston Martins. It's going to be Doran leading into turn one, followed by Billy G, who swaps positions with his teammate. The Vicar go for it up the inside. There's contact, and round goes Dan and Vicar, both down to P12 and P13. Contact through turn one. John Mobes and Doran still fighting with his teammates up to the top of the hill. It will be through turn two. John Mobes with a lock up there. Alex Haig going a bit wide. Doran making contact with his teammates. Dom looking to get past John Mobes there. Through turn 3, Notton so far from these at the front, as Doran looking to be overtaken by Alex Haig round the outside. He's defending, he's left the inside open, and it's going to be shoving to the outside as Red Doubt goes slow down the straight. Now it looks like Vickers has slowed down to let maybe let Dan back past, or just slowing down in general. May have some damage. Alex Haig still there in P3 all over the back of the 2 Aston Martins, who will lead at the end of this lap 1, barring any mistakes through the final 2 corners. It's not as flat as it's in quality, and you don't want to pick up too many penalties in this race, as it could come down very important, as Alex Haig makes a slight mistake through that final corner. May open it up for John Mobes through turn 1 and turn 3. No, it's going to be Dom through turn 1, getting the better exit, and he will get past John Mobes there, nice and simple for the Mercedes, and he blasts past them into P4 on track. Dom still pushing there. Alex Haig seems to have dropped off the 2 leaders in the second, on the start of this second lap and the end of the first, maybe. Just doesn't have that straight line speed possibly over the 2 of them. As we'll see towards this middle sector how much he gains, and that could be an indication on the downforce level he's using. It's the same for Dom. He seems to have a lot of pace down the straights, but may struggle there. A lot of understeer from Alex Haig, a bit of understeer through the first bit for Dom, as it looks to me like they're running a bit lower on the downforce than the 2 Aston Martins, who currently lead 1 and 2. John Mobes a bit wide there, same for SJW in his debut. He cuts that final corner, may open himself up for his teammate through turn 1, and we'll see the 2 V-Carbs possibly fight. Vickers down by in P12 and 13. Board down, a horror start for him, going up the inside, and the door wasn't there, closed on him, and contact, and the pair of them lost a lot of time. Alex Haig has now been overtaken by Dom. There we go, up the hill, turn 2, turn 3 now. It's going to be early braking for Alex Haig. No, he's teleported back through. It's going to be contact, slight contact between the 2. It looked like he ghosted on my screen. Alex Haig may try and get him back through to turn 4 now, down the hill. It's going to be downhill braking round the outside. He's going to go. No move there for Alex Haig. No opportunity for him. John Mobes just waiting there and just sitting back and just waiting for possibly a mistake or tyres to go off for the 2 in front of him. As Doran and Billy G seem to be racing away with this. 3/10 gap and a 3-second gap overall to the next nearest non-Aston Martin car. Going through, yeah, there we go. Billy G 113.8. He seems to have the edge over his teammate a little bit, as the 2 of them may just be trying to push a little bit to just ensure they have a gap over the squabbling cars behind of Dom, Alex, John, and the 2 V-Carbs, and they're all within a couple seconds of each other. I believe they're all within 2 seconds of each other there, as there's no moves in sight. The 2 V-Carbs though up the inside, no contact, as there is contact towards the end. SJW giving the position up to his teammate, and slight contact on the exit between the 2 of them. No damage will be given now to any of the cars. As we head further into the race, we head towards the end of lap 4 now, sector 2, and it's just a 3.5-second gap. Slight mistake from Alex Haig there, as he's now dropped over a second to Dom. He's really starting to struggle in the middle portion of this sector, middle portion of this lap now. He seemed to have a lot of downforce on lap 1, and it's just all kind of fell away. He's understeering like crazy through turn 8 there, and turn 9 it's a bit of an exit worry for him. 3-second time penalty for P13 Dan, who's on a bit of a comeback. As same for the Vickers, who's near Night Creed to start this race. Lap 5 has been started. 4-second gap between the leaders and P3. Seems to be an Aston Martin 1-2 in the bag so far. However, a lot of racing still to go. 30 laps at least 30-40 minutes to go, and we can see what can happen. It may dry up later in this race as well, which could give the advantage back to Alex Haig and John Mobes, who is really he's biding his time. I think he needs to get past and get back into that 1 second window of Dom and just try and, yeah, he needs to get past soonish and not touch that curb on the inside, as Alex Haig makes a slight mistake there on the exit too, and very late on the brakes. He seems to be through that corner. He's struggling a lot through 6 and 7. This is it for John Mobes here. He needs to get past on this next lap, as Alex Haig seems to be starting to push on a bit. Doran with the fastest lap of the race now in P2 over his teammate. I'm not seeing any rain on my screen so far. It seems to be drying up quite a lot so far through turn 1. John Mobes right on the back of that Alpine, as we'll see them race down the hill. We may see a pull-out. He's going to go to the inside, possibly. It's going to be the inside for Dylan Vince, actually. DRS is enabled. This is a dry race now. Up the inside, is very late on the brakes. Goes Dylan Vince. DRS enabled now, though. This is going to help the two of them. Dylan Vince has got the DRS over Alex Haig. He will maybe get past, but John Mobes losing the position and the chance to attack Alex Haig there. And it's just, big lock-up on the rears for Alex Haig in the Alpine. Kind of stops the switchback attempt by John Mobes in the Ferrari, though. Up the inside, it's going to go SJW in the middle sector. No, he's going to pull out of that one. Very smart, in my opinion. Don't really want to go for it there, as if one of you run wide, the two of you go too. As a lot of them struggling now, we may see drivers dive into the pits. One of the Aston Martins, it looks to be Doran. He's in first. Dom follows suit. Dom drifting through turn 8 there, as everybody's in, as it looks to be SJW's exit the pits there. SJW with a 3-second warning there on the exit. He may have gone a bit wide on that one. Doran onto the mediums. He is the first to pit. He may jump his teammate. The Vicar stays out, so does John Mobes. They don't think it's dry enough yet. The Vicar gets past Doran on track, as a lot of people going for hards compared to Doran, as it may just be at this point they may be trying to go to the end or go hard to soft. Dan on the mediums, though, he's followed with Doran. Dom has accidentally put the intermediates on, and that is going to ruin his race, and he's going to lose another 20-30 seconds to those guys, and that has thrown away a good opportunity for him, and that is unlucky on his end. Billy G, 9 seconds to John Mobes, 10 seconds to that Ferrari now. He is flying in this lead. Purple sector 2 for him through the final corners. He's going to enter the pit lane, and he will swap onto the dry tyres, the slicks. John Mobes follows suit. He feels maybe the lap extra was worth it. SJW and both of them in X-Monkey stays. That was extremely weird. This could be a double stack for Ferrari unless they've nailed this, which, let's see, is slight low. It's just a bit, and it's hards for those. It's everybody's on the hards, apart from the two on the medium. Well, 3 on the mediums now. Actually, SJW swaps over onto them. Dan on the mediums too. May jump the Vicar again, and he will jump the Vicar, who has the inside line. It's going to be close between the two. He gets past them, and he will get past the V-carb through up to turn 3. Up the hill they go. Tyres are going to be cold for him. He's had an extra lap of warmth on them. Round the outside, he's going to try and hang it, and he's just not going to get it done. He's going to get it done actually on the exit. What a move by the Alpine, and he gets past the V-carb. They're still there, though. We could see late braking by one of them, and it is by both of them late braking. As Dan, is that damage to his front? It is damage to Dan's front wing. He has slight damage. Doran seems to be struggling a lot. Billy G and Doran have swapped positions towards the middle of this race. Doran, fastest lap of the race, of course. He'll get DRS and get the move straight away. As there's contact actually, through turn 1, he'll get the DRS and the move done now. Billy G's back in the DRS of his teammate. That could have just thrown it a bit away for him. Alex Haig trying to get past into P4 once again. After losing it, it's going to be interesting to see what can happen here. What an exit there for Billy G. He gets the DRS, he gets the ERS going, he gets the tyre advantage, and And he's going to get P2 and possibly P1 later in this race once those tyres start to fall for Doran. It could be a double medium for Doran. It's really an option between hard medium, hard to the end, possibly could be a really risky option. 30 laps it would be on those tyres for a lot of these drivers, at least just around about 28 laps if you want to get pedantic with it. As those drivers in the lead of the race, they have got a massive gap, 8 seconds, and this is Aston Martin's race to lose. They just need to not have contact with each other and have a clean fight for this lead. Billy G, fastest of the race, fastest out of the two of them, as Doran was of course held up through turn 1. Dylan Vince moves up to P3, sets the fastest lap of the race himself, 108.4 for him. John Mobes looking to close in again as it's coming to him in the dry after struggling in the wet SJW. Everyone's setting the fastest lap. The later you are on the track, the faster you will be. It's like an intermediate to dry qualifying session where the faster you go, you'll just go faster towards the end. John Mobes very quick into that corner, gets it stuck through, and that has gained him a lot of time. He's going to get the move done through to turn 4 possibly. Will he have the speed over the Alpine? He's going to go for it late on the brakes. He's going to get it on the brakes and he's going to get it done. Here's the Ferrari, nice move up to P4, and he's now going to chase down Dylan for the podium position. Lead change up front as Billy G gets past Doran. Has pulled out a 1 second gap over his teammate, 107.3 to set the time there. Set the time for most people to beat. Vickers is stuck in a bit of a train, as you'll see here, Dan. And then it's SJW, then it's just to the Vickers, and they might start to pull in on Silver Fox and Red Doubts up the road, and everyone's starting to get a bit closer. The two Aston Martins still close within a second, and DRS as we're near them. We're already past a quarter of the way into this race. It's very late there on the brakes for him there. It's, yeah, there we go, and it's a nice move, a nice defensive move from Red Doubts. Forces Silver Fox to go deep into turn 3, gets it done as Dan is going to get overtaken by SJW. Cannot learn from the driver ahead, as there's no camera angles here in this game. As we'll see, Vickers there still on a comeback, P10 from that lap 1 incident with the driver in front of him, who is Dan. A pair of them made contact in the opening corner, dropping them both down to P12 and 13 on the field. John Mobes under attack from Alex Haig. Might not go for it. He will not go for it into turn 1. Looked like he was. May have tried to go defensive, John Mobes did. But no, he just holds onto it there. He's going to force Alex Haig to go for it through to turn 3 and turn 4. He's going to go for it on the brakes. No, he's going to pull out. Faking the moves again. Going for the dummy, trying to make him bite. And we'll see, can he get him done into P4? Turn 4 for P4. Late enough on the brakes. Fein again, no. As we just wait now, it's just a bit quiet and Dan. So we're just going to watch this battle between these three drivers of Dan, SJW and the Vickers. Division 3, of course, has been going for 10 minutes, sorry. We will be going through. Dan coming through the final corner, looking to defend down these next two straights. SJW picking up another penalty. That's going to promote the Vickers. For sure promote the Vickers. SJW already picked up a penalty early in the race. Sun's starting to come out now as we near a third into this race. I believe we've already passed a third into this race. Just then Alex Hagen and John Mobes there. Contact possible? No. A late dive. And he's not going to get it done. DRS for the Alpine. Can he get it done into turn 4? He's going to go for up the side. No, he's going to fake it and just again trying to make him bite and go defensive. But if you do that too often, it's not going to work. As we'll we'll skip back down to these two fighting. There's the Vicar. There's contact again between the Vicar and he's into the grass, sorry. Attempting a switch back, and he's not going to be happy with that, and this is going to be, there's already been contact between these two, and it's more contact between the two again. Could we see some more fighting carry on? As we're just going to get this ready in case we need to spectate John Mobes on a battle. We'll move it down to SJW in a minute. Battle through turn 1 and 2, 3. It'll be up there. Night Creed has who's that? Was that? That was Dylan Vince in the background there. That may have been. Wait, that was Dylan Vince. Oh, that would completely cross my mind. Oh my, he's spun. He's made a mistake, and that is the two of them up into P3. And this is now a battle not for P3. It's for P4. Sorry, not for P3. Not for P4. For P3. Getting my words all jumbled up there. As it's going to be John Mobes is still defending for his life for this position. The DRS is really helping Alex Haig to stay in. It looks like John Mobes may be the faster driver in this position. SJW, that completely thrown me off there. Oh my god. As this is now getting a lot more interesting in this race. Dylan Vince there has now spun. SJW still ahead of Dan and the Vicar, as these three will be going through turn 1 in, well, turn 1, 2 and 3 in, 3, 4 and 5. Through turn 1 they'll go, no move for anyone there, not going to risk that through turn 1. It'll be Alex Haig who's going to go for up the inside here. He's going to go, oh, that was a bit of a lag, and is round the outside, later breaking for the pair of them. This is really good fighting between the two, wheel banging between the two of them. Dylan Vince trying to pick up the pieces between the two of them. No, he's just going to hold on. SJW still looking to hold on there too between these, and it's just all fighting going on, as this is the fight we want to stay on board with at the minute, I believe. Don't want to focus on one battle too much, but when you've got a battle for the final podium position between a lot of drivers, it's going to be very interesting, very high stakes as well. Of course, it's this could affect championship position come end of season. If these drivers don't get a podium come the end of the season, it could come back on count back to them. It's just going to be a move into turn 1. Alex Haig, no, he's just going to again sit behind. One of these days he might just have to do it into turn 1, try and catch him off guard, as John Mobes knows he's not going to do it. You just got to just go, yeah, you know I'm not going to do it now. You're just going to do it now though. He's going to go later on the brakes. He's going to go really late on the brakes. He's going to go really deep through tier 3 as Dylan Vince gets past 2 in 1 on the switchback, and that was a lovely move by him, as Alex Haig, massive mistake, not locking up, just really deep on the brakes, completely missing the corner and going well wide, and that is it. His P3 battle there. It's now going to be a P4 battle, as Dylan Vince, he's still in it for P3 of course, but I just don't think it could be done. As long as these two don't make a mistake, we'll see what happens. To still three in a line through the final 2 corners, heading through to lap 17 now. Dan with a 3-second time penalty down in P8, still defending from the Vicar. Those two had multiple contact this race. Could we see more contact between the two, as Dylan Vince is looking to defend into he's looking to defend P3 up to P3 into turn 3, and he's going to lose that position, but he'll get it back. He'll get the DRS on John Mobes to see what he can get done. This is very wide there in the background for Silver Fox and Red Doubts, as those two are fighting. Silver Fox has spun, as it's going to be Dylan Vince. He's going to get it right back past John Mobes through turn 4, and it's going to be very close on the exit, as it looked like Dylan Vince had gone way too deep, and he did go way too deep into the gravel, and he couldn't come back on, as John Mobes' car was there, didn't want to make contact, and he's down to P5. And this battle's just chopping and changing the positions constantly. This is a really good racing between all 3 of these. come through the final corner. Once again, to lap 18. Just waiting on a move again. He's just sitting behind. I think, yeah, like I keep saying, he's just got to go for it through turn one time and just try and catch him out, maybe make a mistake. Don't want to force him wide though, that'll pick you up a penalty through turn 2, turn 3. At the very top of the hill again, he's going to go late on the brakes. There's contact, he's going to go wide. Dylan Vince may have made contact with him. DRS for him, and he's going to get that P3 done on this lap. John Mobes still has some defending to do. So does Alex Haig, possibly through to turn 4. The man in P4 has made contact with P5, and there's going to be a switchback for Alex Haig. On Alex Haig, sorry, from John Mobes. He's going to go round the outside through this long corner. And that is good racing between all three of these drivers. Slight contact, but as well, Robin's racing, as is the old saying. Especially when you're on standard damage or simulation, you can have a bit of rubbing, have a bit of banging, wheel banging. It's always good to see. The car's getting close. It's good racing. Alex Haig through turn 1 again. Dylan Vince all over him. Through turn 1, he's straight on that diffuser. Is the V-carb. Don't think Alex Haig's got much of a chance to go up here. Through turn 1 for Dylan Vince though. He's going to go for it up the inside. He's going to force Alex Haig to the outside. He's going to get tightened on that inside. That's the problem with that corner. You need to try and go a little bit deeper and kind of shove him a little bit. It's the problem with the track. You need a lot of respect between the two, and of course how it tightens up to the top of the corner compared to how wide it is. You can go 3-4 wide in the braking zone, but as soon as you get up there, it's not even. It can drop down to 2, not even, never 3 wide through that corner, and it's just it's really good to watch some racing, especially in the early laps. When everyone is close together. We've got a lot of cars close together here. Dan seems to be pulling back in on the Vicar as we've reached over halfway through the race now. 17 laps to go in Austria. It looks to be Billy G and Doran taking the 1-2 at the minute. 12-second gap for Doran. He'll probably have to go for... Oh, everyone's got a pit in this race again. It's just a matter of time of when it's round the outside. John Mobes, he's going to go later on the brakes, braver on the brakes. He's going to get that move done. He's not going to get the DRS though. He's going to leave that for Alex Haig, who in P4 into turn 4 is going to go for it up the inside. Possibly he's going to late on the brakes. No, he's just going to sit behind in another lap and maybe getting through turn 2 or turn 3 again. The problem is as well, if you can't get past him, you can't get too desperate. Especially since it's still very early in the season. Still a lot of time to go in this championship. Alex Haig may come back in the may be the champion by the end of this, and maybe the points from this race that he may have not thrown away if he didn't send up the inside. He's going to go for it through turn 1 this time. Actually, as Alex Haig is going for a different approach on John Mobes. He's going to stick it out round the outside. He's going to get the DRS. He's going to get the switch back, but he's going to open up Dylan Vince through turn 2 and 3, and both of them are going to fly past Alex Haig, who will get the DRS though. Just got to let them go for it, I reckon. Around the outside, slight, and there's contact between the two. And that could have been nasty between those two. Never want to see wheel bang. Never want to see contact, especially in a front battle like this. 9/10. John Mobes may need to escape now if he wants to keep the probable podium that he has at the minute. But it looks like he doesn't have the pace. He just does not have the pace to escape the V-carb and the Alpine, even with the contact that they may have had. And it's just a matter of time of who pits first as well, who blinks first. Could they all be going for the softs at the end of the race? Could one of them go for the mediums? Dylan Vince, slight mistake out the final corner. He will get the DRS down turn 1. But he doesn't get it again through turn 2 and up to turn 3. That is it for John Mobes. He has escaped, and that is a lovely picture of a hill we got there as the Vicar is looking to get past 2 in the back around. Red Doubts. Vicker late on the brakes. No. He's later on the brakes. Very wide for Red Doubts, though. He's going to open himself up to a move from our championship leader, and he's going to keep that position. Gain that position, sorry, as our championship leader. Silver Fox has made another mistake down the field. Still fighting it is, though, is Red Doubts. Not going to give up on the position, as I doubt anyone would give up on the position. P6, volume of points in the championships. It looks to be getting darker again. Could we see another spell of rain at the very end of this race? 14 to go, and that could really throw a curveball into this. And what would even throw a bigger curveball is a safety car, which we have not had yet in this season, but we may. This may be our first tonight. Obviously hoping not to be, and that could just throw a massive curveball. Would wipe away the advantage Billy G and Doran have over the field, as Dylan Vince is going to go up through into turn 2, 3, contact, both of them off the track. Alex Haig through to P3, slight mistake on exit, and that is it, as John Mobes gives him the position back. It looks like he may have got that off the track, and that is why he's gave it back, but that's opened the Vicker, and the Vicker may be getting back into a possible podium position from P13. He's had a massive comeback, as it looks. There we go. It's raining once again. It is raining at the very end of this race. We started in rain, about 8 laps, 9 laps before the dries, and then it's raining again. This could be a very wet and wild end to the Austrian race. As I did say, the weather can change like that. It did change like that. Dan straight away on the mediums. He's going to risk it already. A big rev increase there entering the pits. It tends to happen sometimes, though. He'll be first on. He's not going to change his wing again. He's onto the intermediates, though. Night Creed follows suit as well as SJW, who's down in P12 after pitting just 2 laps ago, 3 laps ago, 4 laps ago. Silver Fox as well pit, and this is really, really unlucky for them, unless it's a really short spell and they think, yeah, I can hold on to it. See what the leaders do, though. Billy G stays out. Silver Fox dives into the pits again. Doran will pit. He'll lose the P2. But is it too early though? That's the thing. It looks very early to be intermediates already. No, Doran didn't pit. Sorry, that's on me there. Don't know where I'm seeing. I was seeing things there, but Alex Haig still got John Mobes behind him, and this could be again very interesting as well. DRS is gone from the end of this race if the rain persists. Blue flags for Silver Fox, as that it's the 2 OWR boys. That is interesting. He's had blue flags. He's gave him the DRS to possibly defend. That is interesting. Vickers into the pits. Everybody's into the pits. As Dan moving up the positions now. He's going to move up to P7 when it all comes to it. With the penalty, though, he may drop down later in the race. Only drivers with penalties is Dan, Red Doubts, Night Creed, and SJW. Brass Monkeys, I believe, doesn't have one. He's on pit exit now. Heading through turn 1, easy to make contact with the wall. There we go. Doran is definitely in the pits now. It's shown up. As following suit is Alex Haig and John Mobes. And that is smart from Billy G. He's got the gap. I believe just, swing it out another lap. I've got the gap over my teammate. I'll have a bit of DRS as well over Brass Monkeys. So I'm just going to take my lead and move on to the next race. Alex Haig, there we go. Everyone's on the inters. Will he come out ahead of John Mobes? He stays ahead of John Mobes. And there we go. John Mobes on exit. It's losing it. It's all down to losing a bit of time as well. You need to nail your marks. Overall, it looks like he's lost a couple tenths. There we go. He's lost the second in the pit lane. Has John Mobes, so he's struggled on either the exit or the entry. It was 3 tenths. as Alex Haig may have got his podium in the bag now. As Billy G enters the pit lane now. He's got a 29-second gap to his teammate, who's just still in the middle of Sector 2, and it's a dominating display for Billy G. With still 10 laps to go, it's starting to pick up a bit with the rain, and a bit of sun coming through though. Maybe dry again. Is anyone thinking of may have thought of sticking out, which would have been very risky? We don't need to pit again, so may as well get that pit stop out the way. Billy G will come out back into the lead. John Mobes and the Alpine of Alex Haig still near enough each other within a second. DRS still enabled, I'm pretty sure, as they head through the final corner. We'll see, as John will open up his flap, and that is DRS. The Vicar still 5 seconds behind them though. He wants to pull in even more on the two of them. John Mobes, DRS, ERS Slipstream, intermediates though, compared to Alex Haig. He's going to go for it late on the brakes. He's going to go for it through to the top of the hill, and that's a nice move. Covers off the switchback from Alex, who will get the DRS on John though in the Ferrari. Oh, sliding, pulling out too much. That could cost him the overtake. Heading through to turn 4, it will cost him the overtake. He's going to go for the switchback, but that slight mistake when opening the DRS and losing the traction is just, very costly for the Alpine. Now heading through to lap 28 now is, of course, Billy G Doran. Still there, 20-second gap to the next nearest non-teammate car for Billy G. It's very wide. There goes Alex Haig. Very slidey is Alex Haig. Alex Haig staying on the track just about. That's getting very dicey with the Vicar not too far behind. DRS finally disabled. That's really the worst time for Alex. Didn't need DRS gone now, as shaking his steering wheel in unhappiness there, I believe. Again, decided to disable it a lap later than everyone on the intermediates. Of course, we had that race in Turkey in 2020. If we were talking about 2020 races earlier, the race start of the stream. That race in 2020 Turkey, of course, had DRS with the intermediates, and the intermediates ended up slick towards the end of that race because it was just the surface was so slippy. They could not change onto slicks, and they couldn't change onto new inters because it would just be too risky. And what a race that was! That was a kind of a wet, started wet, ended up drying, and then I think it ended wet too. So a carbon copy of this race. I'm pretty sure. Lewis Hamilton, of course, holding, I believe he holds the track record here. Of course, holding the Turkey race 2. No track record will be beaten tonight though, with the limited dry running. Yeah, it's just heading down. Now it's all starting to calm down a bit. Dylan Vince is there with Dan through to turn 2 and 3. It's going to be, Dan has lost the position. Will he go for it through to turn 3? No, he's going to sit behind. Play it safe. Be nice and easy for him. Heading up, down the hill. The head up with this track as well. With it being in the hills, you can just see the undulation kind of thing. You can go really up the hill. We'll see it next lap through the through to turn 2 and 3 how massive the hill is, and then it drops down and down. It's like going up a mountain, down a mountain. I believe it's the biggest elevation change in Formula 1. It may actually be beaten by Brazil, but in from what I know, it will be Austria. It's a very bumpy circuit as well, very up and down. It's a natural circuit. You always like seeing natural circuits. No street circuits, but here we go. Lap 30 has started for these two back in P7 and P8. Dan still there. Dylan is he could have had a podium but did end up making a mistake. SJW, I believe he was on the mediums. He pitted onto the inters, sorry, into the first dry run. As it's starting to get a bit wet now, you may start to see some mistakes come through. Vicker is starting to lose time to Dom. Dom 1.5 behind, 1.4 behind the Ferrari, who's done really well in this race, mind you. He may get my driver of the day, but I'm not too sure on who will be getting that. As the Vicker, of course, driving from P13, P8 on the grid, started well, had some contact on the opening lap, put him down to P13 by the end of it. But the recovery is Dom. Speaking of recoveries, Dom with a nice recovery there through turn 8. Yeah, as the Vicker is on a nice recovery there, up to P5, possible P4. He's starting to pull in a bit on Alex, who may have made a mistake, as he's dropped he was 2 seconds off of John there. Now Alex is in P4, 4.5 seconds off, with the Ferrari of the Vicker chasing him down. We'll see. I've just a couple laps left to run. As we enter lap 32 now, Silver Fox picking up a penalty. Won't really matter, as we'll see. Lap 32 starts 5 laps remaining in this very, very crazy kind of race this evening. It was a very crazy start. A lot of racing has gone on in this race. It kind of died down towards the end, but you know, you can't have a lights to flag race of pure racing. Sometimes you've got to just accept that you get some good racing, but it's been a clean race from a lot of these drivers too. Always good to see. As we come near in the end, the Vicker could have one more overtake in store for us on Alex. Of course, the Vicker is one of the only, Vicker and his son Matt G, actually, sorry, one of the only father-son duos. I think the only father-son duo in SFR. Both of them racing in the in Division 4 and Division 3. Both of them did race in Division 3 at one point together. However, sometimes you just can't. You've got to drop down a division to get your pace back, and we'll see. Vicker doing really well this season, of course, Drivers' Championship leader, which I believe may actually be conceded to Doran. On the provisional results, barring any post-race penalties from any of the drivers tonight. Vicker now 1 second in, really starting to see the spray kick up. It's really starting to get wet now around here, very wide. Did go Alex Haig. That's why someone is in my kitchen there, dropping some cutlery. Through now, just waiting for this final couple laps there. 33, has to be 34. Billy G has absolutely dominated this race from the moment he didn't get a good start. He did drop the position to Doran, and then he eventually did regain it back off of his teammate after the pit stops, as Doran did pit first. He got the undercut on his teammate in the dry, with what conceded, and just hasn't really been anywhere near him since. Yeah, not much has occurred, and down in P12, P11, the two Haas's may be having a slight battle as they come up to be lapped by Billy G. Doran not too far behind himself either. We may see something crazy in these last 3 laps now. Here we go, the Vicker. He's came back from P13. He's made contact with one Alpine in this race. He's going to slip behind the other so far. Hill, and he's just saying, put the pressure on for now. I'm not gonna use my battery. You can use all your battery to defend from me, but I will be there by the end of the race no matter what, and I will be in that P4. He is saying to himself, I'm sure, he will have a great comeback drive for him this evening. We'll see what can get done here. Here we go, he's right on the back through the final 2 corners. There we go, final 2 corners, not much there, 2 laps to go for these 2. It's going to be up to turn 2, turn 3. Uphill turn 2, uphill turn 3, and it's just going to level out an exit as well. That's the thing with this circuit, it kind of levels out on the exit, causing a bit of wheel spin. I've noticed a lot through my years racing around here. Even in the GT cars, which I tend to race in now, I still get a bit of wheel spin there. And it has cost me a podium once or twice, as there is a car through that looks to be the V-carb on track as we start the final lap. Billy G, as there we go, I'll take there, still struggling. We're going to keep this battle in close though, as we're just going to ride them over Billy G for now. I believe they may be on for an overtake actually. No, it's just going to sit behind again and see what can happen through these final 2 corners on the penultimate lap as they enter. These 2 enter their final lap of this race. 2 of them racing hard and fast through these first 2 corners there. Vicker right on the back of him. Vicker has got an exit, but he just doesn't have that speed over him so far. Can he get a go for a dive through turn 3? He's going to go for it. He's got the ERS over him. He's going to go. He's going to sit behind through turn 3. Slight exit. Looks to be better for Alex Haig. Slight mistake on exit, and that is it for the Vicker, and I believe it will be Alex Haig coming home in P4. But the man that we are watching at the minute, Billy G, from the moment he led on lap 1, he re-overtook his teammate later on in the race about lap 10, and he has never looked back since. He will take the win in Austria, his first win of the season, and he will take P3 in the Drivers' Championship, as it will be Doran to take P2 and the lead of the Drivers' Championship back from the Vicker, who may get one more shot through the final couple of corners. John Mobes comes P3. Stylish across the line for him. Alex Haig looking to just keep this P4 for now through the final 2 corners. Can he get it done? He will get it done. Alex Haig P4. The Vicker on a comeback drive. My driver today P5. Alex Haig actually dropped, sorry. Was it a penalty? There we go. No, that's correct. Yeah, that's a weird occurrence there. It'll be Alex Haig in P4, Vicker in P5. My driver of the day for this evening. Dom to P6, Dylan in P7. P8 for Dan. P9 for Nate Creed. Coming on for his best result yet in SFR. And picking up some good points for him and his team. What a race, and a lot of battling going on throughout that race, and some good racing by the lot of them, and clean racing by the lot of them, of course. Not much contact between any of them. The Vicker driver of the day has been given by the game, and I completely and wholeheartedly agree with that. He is the driver of the day for today. The Scotsman Billy G, however, will be taking the podium in P1. It's an Aston Martin 1-2, and they take the lead of the championship right back from Ferrari. And they take the lead in both championships, with Doran pulling out in front. And for tonight, that is it. From Division 3, Division 4, sorry, Division 3, of course, still ongoing. That could be a fantastic finish if it is anything like our race tonight. We stay in the countryside, though. Next week in Division 4, we move to Spa, one of the most classic circuits in the world, never mind just in F1, from the calendar in 1950. It started one of the first Grand Prix held in the countryside as well, and it's a brilliant race and may have some weather impacts as well. And that is it for me tonight. Make sure, of course, to subscribe and to join the Discord if you are interested in racing with us any time. But that is it from me. Thank you for joining me tonight, and we shall see you next week in Spa.